him, Dr. Clark. He called for the unity and the redemption of the African world. Salute the Honorable Marcus Garvey. We are not ready to know whether we are ready. Ain't no doubt about it. To listen. You ready, baby? No. Let's go. Yeah. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. Black kiss to the sky, with the side to side, kiss the flag fly high. Come on. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. RPGs on my guys, all eyes, so recognize the flag fly high. Hold it high, let it fly. Rebel colors forever, probably would never die. On my night in the throne ready, let's take a ride. X, walk this, men don't choose a side. Stand for the warriors. Some travel yet still bad glorious. Black power represents us. You either rolling with Africa or against us. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. Black kiss to the sky, with the side to side, kiss the flag fly high. Come on. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. RPGs on the rise, all eyes to recognize the flag fly high. The red is for the blood. I got the best shot, the rest got blood. The black is for the gods, elevating and elevating, holding the main charge. The green is for the cradle. Africa, everything first, the earth's navel. This excellency, put it together as a symbol of liberation. That's how we get the letters RBG. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. Black kiss to the sky, with the side to side, kiss the flag fly high. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. RPGs on the rise, all eyes to recognize the flag fly high. This flag flag is 99. People only them know the time. I was drab on my design. We both ready. Hard line. Ain't no game for that red flag. Triple stage of that black bang. Revolution in my veins. Then we free. I won't change. And you can count on that like an advocate. Celebrate the victories and the challenges. This defense is social media statuses. This lifestyle elevation building practices. Yeah. Flag fly high. Flag fly high. Flag fly high. Black kiss to the sky, with the side to side, kiss the flag fly high. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. RPGs on the rise, all eyes to recognize the flag fly high. Red, 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 black, 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 green, green, green. RPG, I'm got that red, 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 black, 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 green, green, green. That RPG, I'm got that red, 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 that black, 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 that green, green, green. RPG, I'm got that red, 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 black, 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 green, green, green. That RPG, baby. RPG, baby. Come on. Fly high, a flag, fly high, a flag, fly high. Shout out to all my RPGs worldwide. Doing this thing garbage style. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Flag, fly high, a flag, fly high. Come on. Yeah.
Hotep family, this is your RBG brother, Guy Hollywood Jr., coming to you with another exclusive. And today's topic, as you can see, is we have no protection. We have no protection. But before I go into this, I want to screen share a little something dealing with this Joe Biden clown. Now, I think people have forgot that Joe Biden had brain surgery. If you notice, he's always forgetting. He's always forgetting. He always saying something stupid. He always, and people already know that he's going to say something dumb, or he just can't remember, or he forgot what he just said 5 minutes ago. And I'd be asking, do you really want somebody like that as your president? The man's 70, almost pushing 80 years old. You really want somebody like that as your president? So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how screwed up he really is mentally. I'm going to show you that. And then I'm going to play you the interview with Cardi B. And then I'm going to get into my main topic because there's some things I want to show you. But I got to address this because this is, I got to address it because when people go out there and vote and decide to vote Democrat, and I'm not telling people to vote Republican because they both different wings on the same bird. But I want people to, I'm just showing you that what makes Joe Biden better than Trump. I'm just curious about that. So I'm going to screen share something. I'm going to screen share Joe Biden and his screw ups. Let me get out of here. What's this? Okay. Let's do this. Trying to get this thing. There we go.
Today, I am proud to endorse Joe Biden for President of the United States.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Kingswood Community Center. Actually, that's the one down I used to work. It's a joke. You know where we were anyway.
Because he will be an extraordinary president.
Unnecessarily, now we have over 120 million dead from COVID. We're 100.
He knows how to get the job done.
We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts.
And as we face coronavirus, Joe has been a voice of reason and resilience, with a clear path to lead us out of this crisis.
Don't listen to anybody who tells you not to wear a mask. It matters. It matters, it matters, it matters. We're going to overcome this. Listen to what the science is saying. I'm the politician. I'm the politician I know. I'm listening to the science. Wear a mask.
I want to tell you about the Joe Biden I've seen with the parents of victims of gun violence.
You only arrest for the purpose of dealing with a felony that's committed, and I don't count drunk driving as a felony.
I want to tell you about the Joe Biden I've seen working behind the scenes, hammering out solutions for the American people.
Look, tomorrow's Super Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I?
Joe Biden brings values and integrity to work every day because he never forgets his roots.
In my household, you could never, ever, 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 ever say, you get in a fight with somebody, you could never say anything about them that was true. You couldn't say if they were 300 pounds, you couldn't say you're fat. You couldn't say you're skinny. You couldn't say you're short.
We need a forward-looking, battle-tested leader who will fight for the people.
You know, the rapidly rising I don't know.
A president with values, experience, and the strategic thinking to bring our nation together and build a better, fairer world for our children.
And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
So please join me in supporting Joe and help move America.
Wow.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. I'm ready. And day one, after more than 3 years in office, why isn't Donald Trump ready? Mr. President, wake up.
Wow. And you really want that as your president? You really want that as your president? People forgot about this man had brain surgery. I don't think that's a good, yes, Erica. Joe is not well at all. Joe is not well at all. This man had brain surgery, and people forgot about that. People forgot about this brain surgery. That's why you saw he was forgetful. He was like, oh, yeah, and oh, that was, oh, do people really want that as their president? Boy, if Joe Biden becomes president, you think people look, so far we haven't gotten into no more. We didn't get, look, people can say what they want about Trump. I didn't vote for Trump. I really don't care. But we haven't gotten into no wars. Look, even Korea did some threatening, and shoot, even Trump was like, yo, you go ahead. I got bombs, you got bombs, let's go. Let's go head up. Korea was like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk. You need somebody that's gonna be gangster gang. You know what I'm saying? You need a gangster to defeat a gangster. You know what I mean? Joe Biden, he's forgetful. He'll do something and this whole country will collapse. People got to think. Do you really want this dude in office? That's bad. That's really bad. So I'm gonna play you something else. How he interviewed Cardi B. Out of all the intelligent brothers, I'm talking about brothers and sisters that we know who are conscious. Yes, yeah, she'll be running things. She's gonna have to. She's gonna have to. You're right. She's gonna be running things, unfortunately. But you know who's gonna benefit? The East Indians. Oh yeah, the East Indians she's gonna do more for the East Indians because guess what? East Indians got the American jobs. You know, when they do when you have a computer problem or at your job or whatever the case is, that traces back to East India. They got a lot of money invested into that. I agree. You're right. Makim, you're right. I'm sorry, Makim. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. But yeah, I mean, but look, I'd rather just stick with Trump for now than Joe Biden. We really don't want him in office, and we already know Kamala. Her urgent is she's going to put her people in front of us. She's going to put the East Indians in front of us. This is already, they want our votes to take care of someone else. They want our votes to take care of someone else. And I'm going to show you disrespectful that Joe Biden. Let me tell you something about the Democrat Party. And I want people to do their research. The Democrat Party started with Andrew Jackson. He was pro-slavery. Before he died, he owned 150 slaves. They are pro-slavery. The Democrat Party was never good when it came down to our people. Never good. Joe Biden Clintons, they praised Robert Byrd. Robert Byrd was a grand wizard of the KKK. Don't take my word for it. You could Google that. You could Google that. Okay? So the Democrat Party has a long history. As you can see, Joe Biden said a lot of racist stuff. A lot of racist stuff hurting us. And this reason why, and this goes into my topic, we are not protected. We have no protection. This goes into my topic. Because their job is not, this government is not going to protect us. This government is not, would never protect us. Never. Joe Biden's not going to do it. Trump is not going to do it. Kamala Harris is not going to do it. They're going to use us to benefit someone else. Of course, yes, 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 you're right. Trump have done more positive things for black folks. Of course. You got to understand, Trump is not really a politician. He's not really, but yeah, don't get me wrong. Yes, he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. I get all that. He was inherited with money, but he's still part of the people. He sees what's going on. He see that black people is struggling. He's not really a politician. That's the reason why he can say what he wants. He don't even use prompters. And trust me, and I want people, when Trump go up against Joe Biden, I'm telling you, the rating's gonna go straight. It's gonna go high. Trust me, because I know Trump. Trump gonna go in on this dude. He's gonna go, everything I'm saying, Trump gonna end up saying it. Yo, you're forgetful. You don't have you just got brain surgery. He gonna go in. He gonna get gangster with it, and he gonna say he gonna name all the things that he done for black folks. Okay? People have gotten jobs. I know people right now, almost 60% of black folks was unemployed under Barack Obama for during them 8 years. During them 8 years. And I'm not talking about doing no tip work. I'm talking about full-time permanent jobs. Our people were unemployed almost damn near 60%. Even Barack Obama said it himself. When Trump got in office, unemployment went high. Please do not use this COVID-19 on Donald Trump. That's not his fault. He wants to keep he's a money man, yo. He's a money man. He's about that bag. Just like every other black folks is about the bag. I'm about that bag too. I need money. When he wanted to open up the country, the Democrats didn't want to do that. And you know what's going to happen? Joe Biden gonna get all the credit if he gets become president. He gonna say, oh well, you know, we got the cure. You can go back to normal now, and he's gonna be looked at as a savior. When Trump said no, we need to open up till we can't close the country forever. People got to make money. People out there starving. The Democrat Party didn't want to do that. The Democrats did not want to do that. Trust me. I'd rather Trump stay in office than this Joe Biden. Joe Biden, I'm telling you, if Joe Biden wins, we are fucked. Big time. Especially black folks. And watch, you're going to see the East Indians going to come up. And while we still going to be in the same run, still complaining about the same damn thing. But I'm going to play. Let me play. Yes, Erica, we got to hold our vote. We're going to hold our vote for the right person. Matter of fact, we need somebody who's going to represent us. And please, and trust me, stay tuned because I got some. I'm gonna put up what Marcus Garvey had been saying. This is my Bible right here. I'm listening to the prophet. I'm going to listen to somebody who's been here longer than me. Because he had the solution back then. In 1922, he had the solution back then. Oh, this is going to get juicy. But I got to play this, though. I gotta play this with him and interview Cardi B because I thought this was very interesting. Because I don't like when people who don't look like me speak for my race. I don't like that. Cardi B is not. She's not an African descendant. She's not my people. She's not none of that. For her to talk about what we need, what we want, she should keep her mouth closed. And this is how disrespectful. Excuse me. This is how disrespectful Joe Biden is. He got the most ratchet woman that he could find to speak for us. All these educated women. Hell, Erica, let me tell you something, Erica. Joe Biden should have spoke to you. Erica, Joe Biden should have spoke to you because you're an intelligent woman. Yeah, I'm not surprised either. I'm not surprised. And peace to you, K. I'm sorry, I want to wait a minute. KW Dawn 7. Peace to you, brother. Peace to you. So, but Erica, he should have spoke to you because you're a real sister and you know the needs of the black man. Oh, got my brother Bakari online. Peace, brother Bakari.
Peace, my brother.
How you doing? I'm glad you're on board, brother.
I'm doing good, my brother. How about you?
I'm good, man. I'm hanging in there. I'm on a roll right now. I'm on a roll, but if this is gonna get juicy, it's gonna be a great topic. But I'm just showing the mindset of Joe Biden. He's very forgiving because people forgot that Joe Biden had brain surgery. No one brings that up, and the media try to cover that up. All right, Erica shouting you out. Well, brother Bakari.
Peace, Sister Erica.
Sister Erica, I was trying to tell Sister Erica instead of Joe Biden talking to that ratchet demon, Cardi B, Joe Biden should have talked to Erica. She should have spoke to her.
Yeah.
You want to talk to somebody who's going to really represent us. But I'm going to screen share this because this is funny to me, and I got to show this. Let me screen share this real quick. We gotta show this. I gotta show this. Because this is so disrespectful. Oh, let me take this out. That's not what I want. It's not what I want. Okay. Just give me a second. This thing's a little slow. Okay. Come on.
What's up, baby?
I don't want this. All right, now I'm gonna show this. Here we go. Let me screen share this.
Oh, snap.
How you doing?
Hi, Biden. How are you?
How are you? The name's Joe.
Well, hello there, Joe.
As a matter of fact, watch me, my dog.
Try to blow this up a little bit. Where's this thing keep? Just give me a few seconds. It's coming on. Just trying to get this thing to. Here we go.
The love of my life, the life of my love. She's a fan of yours.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Ashley.
Good, how you doing?
You know the nickname she gave her father when she was growing up? She called me Joey B. So we may be related or something.
Yeah,
Joey B.
Joey B. I'm a huge fan. How you doing? I feel so crazy because I feel like I'm a little bit late. But Biden, let me tell you something. When you have kids my age, like the one my age, 2 years old, your schedule never go as planned. You know what I'm saying?
You're telling me? I got 4 kids, 5 grandkids. Come on. I'm an expert. I understand about kids. The most important thing in the world. They come first.
Yes, definitely. Always. I kick them first.
Now look at them nails. Look at them sword nails she got. That's not professional. That's not classy. You know, she look like she could pick up French fries with them damn ugly ass, and them nails are ugly. And look how she talks. She talks so ghetto, so ratchet. That's not even This is not even professional. But this is who he chose to speak for us. And she don't even, number one, she's not our race. But you see how racist this is? He get the most ignorant people, somebody he can find to represent us. And not just that, someone who don't look like us to represent us. It's so disrespectful. And you don't think let me tell you something, you don't think this is not racist?
Keep it that way.
So, Joe, I heard you got some questions for me.
Oh, I do have some questions for you. First of all, I want to congratulate you. The cover of, I tell you, that's pretty good. That's pretty big time. Number one, doesn't surprise me. You're on the cover. But number two, thanks for your generosity dealing with people who are suffering from COVID. We, there's so many people who needlessly are in trouble, who are needlessly have died, and they didn't have to if we had taken the precautions we needed to. And thank you. You have a generous heart. And what I wanted to know was, tell me what's your main interest in terms of this election?
I have a whole list of things that I want and I wish and I desire for our next president to do for us. Much. I don't want to be lied to. I don't want.
Hold on. And that's the problem. And that's the problem right there. That's the most ghettoest shit that anybody can say. Well, I just want Trump out. I just want Trump out of there. Never mind the policies. What do the policies that Trump put in place that you don't like? Not just you just want him out of there, but what have he done? Just like Mackim said, that he had done a few positive things to benefit black people. But she didn't mention that. She said, well, I don't like Trump. I just want him out of. Why? You don't like his policies? Why? And I think she's gonna, and in this one, she's gonna explain why, but her reason is fucking stupid.
Like, we're dealing with a pandemic right now, right? And I just want answers. I want to know when this is over. Like, I want to go back to my job.
She said, I want it over. That's what she said. I want it to be over. And I want to go back to my job. Now, listen what she said. Listen how she contradicts herself. This is the ratchetness of this dummy.
I want to be able to go outside. I want to be able not to feel like I'm trapped in my home. But I don't want somebody to lie to me and tell me that it's okay to go outside.
She said, well, I don't want nobody to lie to me to say it's okay to go outside. But that's what you want, right? You want to go outside. You want to enjoy life. But if somebody said, hey, it's okay, you can do it, just take some sort of precautions. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Nobody lying to you.
It's okay not to wear a mask. That everything is going to be okay. No, I want like a timeline of when things are going to get better. I want a president to tell me what are the steps for us to get better besides, taking precautions like with our masks and quarantining. I need somebody to tell me like, this is going to be over when we find this cure. This is why it's taking so long. This is why other countries are doing better than ours when it comes to this pandemic. I need somebody to tell me the truth, the hardcore truth. And also, I, of course, want free Medicare. And this is why it's important to have free Medicare, because look what's happening right now. You see what? We should have been having free Medicare for a long time. I, of course, think that we need free college education. That's second. And I want the justice for it. I'm tired of it. I just want to strict the laws that is fair to black citizens.
Now let me say this though. Let me say this. This is nothing new. You know how many times black folks been saying free health care. We want to get stopped by we want to get protect. We want to get more. We don't want to get killed by cops. We've been saying this for almost damn near 60 years. This is nothing new. They're not going to stop it. They're not going to stop. And like I said, this is going to go on to my solution. I'm gonna write when I finish this. I'm gonna get into the nitty-gritty of this. It's not going to stop. They're not. Joe, look at this guy's face. He's not interested in what she's saying. This guy's he's clueless. But for her to say, "Oh, I don't want black men to get killed and all that stuff," well, wait a minute. Why don't you speak for your race? Well, I thought it was black. I thought it was ain't brown men getting killed by cops. I don't know. You know, why has it got to be black men?
You know, it's fair for cops too. If you kill somebody that doesn't have a weapon on them, you go to jail. You know what?
Watch this.
Kill somebody,
oh yeah, watch this. Now watch this. This is Brother Bakari was saying. Now watch this. Watch this. What she gonna say? She gonna say something. She gonna do it like a bird sound. This chick is a straight bird, and she gonna do a bird sound. Watch y'all.
I gotta go to jail. You gotta go to jail too.
What? What the fuck was that? What was this chicken head did? Oh my God. I gotta play that again. Let me play that again. She did the bird sound. But this is who he picked. This is who he picked. I gotta rewind that a little bit.
You know what? If I kill somebody, I gotta go to jail. You gotta go to jail too. And it's so sad that the pandemic has to happen so people could open their eyes on seeing what type of person are they dealing with. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're really confusing the people. Like one day you're telling them that this is nothing, that people need to stop getting tested because they're going to get it anyways. Next thing you know, you have a mask in your face and you're really playing games, not with us, not the wolves. You're playing games with the people that support you. All of this has to happen, this crazy stuff that has to happen so they can open their eyes for the past 4 years.
Well, it doesn't have to happen. For example, in 20.
I gotta stop right there. KW Don said something really that was true. Didn't this multiracial female Cardi B call black women cockroaches? Yes, true. She damn sure did. This bitch, she did this whatever this thing is, said she did say that. And Joe Biden said the same thing. He called us roaches too. They both don't care about black people. They don't care about, neither one of these motherfuckers don't care about, and you gonna use black women to do what? Do filthy videos. She get the most desperate black women, and she don't use her own people. When it comes down to making her little porn videos, just like that WAP crap, and she made another video, and it was strictly porn, and she's at the computer and she's butt naked. She only going to use us when it comes down to filthy stuff. And this is what Joe Biden, this is what he wants to talk to represent us, to try to get black votes. Because he thinks that, he thinks that we are fans of Cardi B. We ain't fans, most of us, we ain't fans about no Cardi B. We ain't fans of Cardi B.
16. If 18 to 23 or 4-year-olds have voted in the same percentage as the rest of the population, we would have had Hillary Clinton, not him. The vote matters. That's why you keep talking to people about the need to vote. The vote matters. It matters a great deal. And so we got to look, the generation, your generation and the young millennials beyond that, they can own this. They can own this outcome. And they can own what happens in the next election. They are the ones that can change things dramatically if they show up and vote. Tell me what your fans most say to you when they communicate with you online. What are the...
People are just getting sick left to right. And that's why I keep telling people, because sometimes people have problems in their community. They just wonder, like, for example, a lot of after school programs that I was growing up with, there's no after school programs a lot anymore in my hood.
That's right.
And it's like, I'm just wondering why. Why is that?
Because people don't want to pay the taxes for it. And that's why this whole thing about government's bad has been such.
Let me say this. I gotta say this. I want people to understand the reason why we don't have schools that give us proper education and stuff like that, because it runs by taxpayers' money, right? Taxpayers' money, like property taxes, right? How can you pay property tax, especially if you're in the inner cities or the urban neighborhoods, when everybody is renting? When everybody is renting, how can anybody could pay property tax? Because that's what's fueling these stores, or like the schools and these school systems or whatever. You can't have what you want if everybody's renting. Because when you're a homeowner, this is the reason why they make it so hard for black folks to buy homes. We should be able to make it affordable so every black person in this country could get a home, not just renting. Brother Bakari, you still around? You still there, brother?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you want to address anything before I continue?
Nah, it ain't nothing to address this foolishness right here. Brr. Ain't nothing to address.
Okay.
I just make the bird sound. Brr.
Yeah.
But you know what though? They trying to use her to represent black women. She ain't representing black people. She's representing black people. Black women. She ain't representing black people. But the problem with that is black people is so inclusive, they're okay with that. So that's absolutely disrespectful.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The whole world is black according to some black people.
That makes sense.
A downer for the things that really matter to you and me. I was doing very well as a single dad when my wife and daughter got killed. And I had thank God I had my sister, my brother, and my mother who helped me. My sister moved in with me, was she and her husband. But look at all the people who don't have that kind of help.
And you want to know something, talking to you, I'm always so focused on Medicare and college education. And I never really thought about how important is childcare. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like nobody's more motivated than a mom. Nobody want to go and hustle out there and get that money for the kid. Once you become a mom, you change completely. Your mindset changed completely. But it's like, how are you supposed to do that when you probably don't have a babysitter for your kid? And I'm like, fortunately for me, I'm able to, have my mom take care of my child. But a lot of people, like, it's like their mom cannot retire and take care of their kids. Like, their mom has to work too.
One of the things that I admire about you is you keep talking about what I call equity, just decency, fairness, treating people with respect. John Lewis used to say, the vote is the most powerful non-violent tool. To state the obvious. When I was in high school, what happened was we had the civil rights movement just be started. And what happened? Along came Bull Connor and his dogs. He thought he was going to drive a wooden stake into the heart of the civil rights movement.
Well, okay, I got to stop you right there. Her people never experienced through that. Why is he using our struggle to tell somebody that never fought with us? Her parents, her people never went through what we went through. So why is he talking about the civil rights movement? Why is he talking about dogs getting sick on there? He's going to talk about the water hose. Her people never went through that. Why is he talking about things like that to these people who don't look like this, who don't even give a damn about us? Because her people mistreated black people in Dominican Republic. I don't know. I think she's Dominican. I think she is Dominican Republic. I think she is Dominican. But they treat black people over there very nasty. Them Haitian brothers and sisters over there, our people from Haiti. But she don't know nothing about no civil rights. She don't know nothing about what our people went through during the South and even in the North. How dare he?
But when all those folks who never realized, never saw before what was happening in the South, they lived in places where there were very few black people, didn't know any black people. All of a sudden they saw Bull Connor with dogs ripping off the clothes of black women, elderly women going to church, and kids being knocked down with fire hoses and their skin being ripped off. All of a sudden, as Dr. King said, we had the second Emancipation, Voting Rights Act, and we had the Civil Rights Act. It changed things because people said, oh my God, that's happening. I think I heard you say somewhere along the line what I've been saying. This cell phone has changed America. Because what happens now? We're at a point where some brave kid, 15 years old, can stand there and for a total of 8 minutes and 46 seconds take a photograph of a black man whose family I know and met with and understand and spent time with, and watched him brutally murdered. And people around the world were saying, my God, it really happens? Because I'm not in a neighborhood like that. I don't come from a place. And now, guess what? They're demanding change.
Black people,
what?
We're not.
Why she's rocking back and forth like that? That is so unprofessional. Why she's walking back and forth like this? Why she's doing that? She can't stand still like a lady and just listen. Why is she going like this? That's what I don't understand. Like, why did he chose her? And if you're going to talk about what black, well, you should have talked to a black person who can relate to that. That they can say, yeah, my mom's went through that. My grandmother went through that. Can't talk to somebody who never went through that. She don't care about that stuff.
We're not asking for sympathy. We're not asking for charity. We are just.
Wait a minute. Did she?
We're not asking.
God, it really happens.
Did she consider herself black? Well, hold on, let me hear that again.
In a neighborhood like that, I don't come from a place. And now, guess what? They're demanding change.
Black people. Asking for equality, fairness, and we are asking for justice. That is all.
We asking.
Like,
we're not asking.
Everything
y'all asking. We're not asking.
Interpreted in a very different way. No, it's simple. We just want justice. That's all. We want justice. We want to feel like Americans. We want equality.
Treat me with respect.
Yes, with respect.
Respect. That's where I think you're seeing a real. Look, I have a friend, who's a congressman in Mississippi, Benny Thompson, and a very well-known congressman, African American.
And you know what? He chose it because he know if he would have got somebody like us, we would have said something totally different. We would have been like, we're not asking no more. We're demanding. We're demanding. If you don't do it, we're gonna hold our vote. Just like Erica said. It's time to hold our vote. Now this bitch is asking, oh, we just want to feel like an American. No, y'all people want to feel like an American. That's why y'all you know, that's why y'all are fighting to stay in this country, even though you know this country is racist. But this country was made, you know, that's why y'all, you know, a lot of these Latinos come in large numbers. Florida is filled with Cubans, filled with them. They even have a community called Havana, right in Florida. They got the whole town called Havana, just full of Cubans that looks like her.
How many people? There was many white kids working as black kids. This is Mississippi, Joe. Things are changing, Joe. The reason I'm so optimistic is because of your generation. You're the smartest, the best educated, the least prejudiced, and the most engaged generation in American history. And you're going to change things.
What?
You're going to change them. You're the reason I have such incredible hope. I really mean it. I'm not trying to be nice. It's a fact. That's what's going to change things. The rest of the world's always looked to us. Why have they looked to us? Not because we're so powerful, but the power of our example. Look what they're seeing now with this president. He's literally promoting hatred, promoting prejudice, promoting racism, talking about protecting the Confederate.
I want to respond real quick when it's convenient, just like Kamala. Yep, that's so true. She's so point on that, brother Bakari. She's so right about that.
Watch this, right? Now she's black, right? She's black now, according to this video. So we the most inclusive, so we'll include her. But what he's doing right now, people know how to play on black people emotions. He talking about how Donald Trump is promoting hate and doing all that. I don't care about him. I don't care about people not liking me. Now, this is the thing. Then he said he's trying to protect Confederate flags. I don't care about the Confederate flag. I'm going to tell you why I don't care about that. Because if they tear down all of those flags, tear down all of their monuments, they are erasing their evil history in this country. And black people in the next 10 years, we're going to be immigrants that came here to work, just like they already did it in the history book in Texas like 2 years ago. They weren't slaves. Immigrants from Africa came here looking for work. And as long as we sit back and think that is okay, because see, it don't bother me. I want to know how you feel. That's why I can deal with more what people would call rednecks.
That's right.
I can deal with more rednecks than I deal with people like white people like Joe Biden. You understand? I can deal with, because they know where I stand. I know where they stand. So I can deal with more of them than people like Joe Biden. Why do we want this country to erase its bigoted past toward us? Why are we going to sit back and allow them to erase everything that they have done? So while everybody is jumping, and you know me, I've already said like how I feel about the reparation thing and asking for it. But while everybody is jumping on this bandwagon, want these symbols, want to get away, let them tear down the statues, let them get rid of the flag. They can all now. Everything is going to be rewritten, and we don't owe you nothing. Y'all came here from Africa as immigrants. You look for a job. You didn't do right with your money. Look how the Hispanics do with their money. Look how the Orientals and the Arabs and East Indians, y'all took y'all money and wasted. And that's the road. They are taking us down with that. He's trying to protect the Confederate flag. It needs to be torn. The flag ain't, if you're going to get rid of the Confederate flag, get rid of the United States flag. The United States flag was created before the Confederate flag, and they both stand for the same goddamn thing.
You're so right. You're so right. Email, you're right. There's a lot of them. I'm just going to read his comment. There's a lot of them in Miami. He's talking about the Cubans. And he said, and I heard they are very nasty attitude. That's true. Most of these Cubans that's over there, they're very racist. Very racist. He said, I heard they have very nasty attitudes, especially if you don't speak Spanish. That's so true. That's true. That's facts. That's facts. I used to work with one of them. And even though he was nice, but he had a lot of, he was very racist. Very racist, because he was talking about, his name was Jose Ferrier. That's his last name, Ferrier. And he said, he was telling me he was telling me, oh, why are you, you can't think like this. You can't think, because, I dated, we was talking about interracial relationships. He's telling me I can't think like that. He said, oh, I dated all types of women. I dated a African girl. I dated, an Asian girl and all this other stuff. But I said, but who are you married to? She's Cuban. I said, so why did you marry her? Because, and he was like, he looked at me, he was like, yeah, because I want to keep the culture in my race. I said, so why are you telling me that I can't do that? Why are you telling me that I can't do that and I need to change, but you did not do that? You're telling me my type of thinking is wrong, but it's okay for you to stay with your race and keep your culture. And he said, you know what? You're right. So yes, most of these Eurocentric Cubans are very racist. They know different. All of them.
See, let me show you something, right? Everybody come here and get acclimated to the system of this country, right? And when they come here, they see this country. First of all, they treat the black people in their own country bad. So when they come here, I don't know what make us think there's some type of union between us and them. But it ain't just a lot. Watch this. Do y'all remember back when Bill Clinton was president? I can't think of the little kid name, so I'm just going to call him Julio Iglesias Rodriguez, that they was complaining about the Cuban kid that wanted to stay in this country, but his dad was trying to take him back to Cuba. I don't know if y'all remember that. Yeah. Now watch this. If you remember that, around that same time frame, what did Bill Clinton do to the Haitians trying to come in this country? He pushed their sail back out in the ocean and allowed 20 of them to drown.
Yes, I heard about that. Yep.
And we are still talking about it's better for them. And I'm going to tell you something. Even with most of these people saying, I'm saying most, not all, saying hold my vote. Okay, I'm going to use these two for example. People who think they got the best movements, ADOS and FBA, Foundation of Black American, right? Mm-hmm. Hold your vote till Democrats say they're going to do something to us. I'm a firm believer in there's two parties in the race. This if you planning on voting. I'm not planning on voting. There's two parties in the race. Why are we going to wait for one party to say, we'll finally talk to you? Mm. They say Republicans, we can't talk to them. So I guess talking to Cardi B is Democrats talking to black people. What we must understand, and I'm going to be honest here, we have been replaced in this country. They replaced us right in our face with Spanish-speaking people. I remember around the 8th, 9th grade, 10th grade, when you damn near had to speak Spanish for everything, they started telling people, learn Spanish or you ain't going to be able to get a job. Yep. And all that was done. And if you see it now, but those cowards want to fight black immigrants. Mm-hmm. Black immigrants is not enough of them here to replace us. We have been placed right in our face. Voting for these damn Democrats, we have been replaced by the people that black people want to stand up for and scream, black and brown together, black and brown, black and brown. I have never heard a brown person say brown and black. Yeah, that's his name, K-Don. I just gave him a name. Now, I know there's black people in the Latino countries. How often do you see them? Especially down south. Erica down south, you don't see the black Latinos, the Afro-Mexicans, the Afro-Guatemalans. I saw one, a black lady. The Guatemalans didn't even deal with her. She came here and she just fit right in with us. And they shame to tell you she's black, she Afro-Guatemalan, but they don't even deal with her. They don't deal with their own. They don't deal with the black people in their country. So why do you think they're going to come here and deal with the black people in this country? Black people better understand, and I saw this shirt, and I'm going to get one made for me. I'm a part of the team of Just Us. That's my team. The team of Just Us.
And I want to add on something like that because I met a few black folks that come from these Latin countries. And and I was even shocked when I was new to it. I was like, damn, she speaks Spanish. I was shocked, because I was new to it because they don't, like you said, they don't really show our people that come from these Latin countries. And I think I told you that I met this one beautiful girl. She was from Dominican Republic, dark-skinned sister. And I heard her speak Spanish. And she was from Dominican Republic. So it was a girl that looks like Cardi B. She said, oh, and I said, well, where she's from? Because they were talking. I said, where's that sister from? Oh, she said, oh, she's from Dominican Republic, but she's on the other side of the darker side. So she's letting me know there's segregated in Dominican Republic. There's a darker side that they don't fuck with, and there's a lighter side. And that's what she said. She said, oh, she's on the side of the darker people. And I said, wow. But she was a beautiful sister. Man, I ain't gonna front. I had a crush on her, boy. And I think she liked me too, but I never got a chance to talk to her. At that time I was shy, I was shy because she was so beautiful. But yeah, man. And I met this brother. He was from Costa Rica, a brother, and I was like, they was like, yo, where you from? He was like, yeah, I'm from Costa Rica, very nice guy. These are nice people. These are African people that speaking Spanish, but they're not being recognized. And that's when I went to college. That's when I was exposed to all that. I wasn't exposed in all this in high school. I wasn't exposed to this in doing all the time I was growing up in school. So yes, we're gonna accept them more than anything. I remember this one girl. She was from Dominican Republic. She was like, she was like, I don't understand why Dominicans wouldn't accept me. They said that I wasn't Dominican. That's what people like Cardi B, her people were saying to her. And this sister was from the same place. And she had kinky hair and all that. I said, well, because you're African. And they don't, and you got these European Dominicans, they don't like you. But we accept you because you're our people. You're with us. But she didn't understand that. She wanted to be connected to a race of people. And what's going on in Dominican Republic, what's going on in Colombia, what's going on in Brazil, it's the same. Black people have the same damn issues. The same issues. And people got to understand that. So let me continue this real quick. I'm going to continue this real quick because this is interesting. This is so interesting.
Flag when Mississippi takes it off their flag? And he's defending. He's talking about stats. I mean, what this is all about the game of making people hate each other, because that's how he wins, by dividing us. You're going to change it. Your generation is changing. You already are doing it.
The new generation, my fans, my people, it's like this is why we have to go out and vote. I know that the young generation right now, with social media, we are just so eager to make money, to look a certain type of way, to have style, celebrity gossip, and it's like, why don't we make a change for real and just vote?
In the primaries, they kept saying, well, there's not that many people voting. Biden's not going to excite anybody. With the largest turnout, and we're ready, and we can change it. But look, there's a lot, but we really rely on people like you. And let me tell you something.
Wow.
The American people have never, ever, ever let their country down, given half a chance. Never. And they've been battered by corporate America. They've been battered by this president particularly. And the way in which he's able to continue to divide it, he appeals to the outright prejudice of some of those in that community that don't have any money. And he just appeals to their prejudice. Hey, we gotta stop it.
Prejudice is just awful, dangerous. Like, it could be a start of a civil war. It makes people feel uncomfortable around different people. Nobody wants to feel targeted. Nobody wants animosity. We just want the best for us. Everybody wants the best for themselves, their future, their future. I don't want to live to tell my kids, like, you have to be careful going to the store. Don't wear this certain type of clothes. Don't wear a mask. Don't wear a hoodie. Please don't feel a certain a certain type of animosity towards race because I feel like they get it easier than us. I don't want to feel like that. Nobody wants to feel like that. Like it's like why can't we just work with each other? Why and you know, and racism always have existed, but I feel like right now there's just a lot of tension, and we need somebody to clean that. I'm just so tired of it. I don't want to do it.
You know, the country's been mourning. What you're finding now is the vast majority of the American people understand what's going on. My mom used to have an expression. She said, Joey, the greatest virtue of all is courage. Because without courage, you couldn't love with abandon. Without courage, none of the other virtues would exist. It's time for some courage, and you're exercising. You and other people of your stature who have millions of people who look to you, you're exercising courage. It's not easy for you because you're going to get a lot of flack for the kinds of things you say. But you have the courage to stand up and say, now's the time. By the way, we're going to have, if I get elected president, free college education, 4 years of college, flat out. Anybody with a family less than 125 grand, you're going to get free education. Everybody gets free education for community college. Everybody.
And let me say, you know he's lying, right? You know he's lying. I want people to understand. He said, when I become president, it's going to be free education. You know he's lying. That's a lie. He ain't gonna give nobody no free education. That's a lie. That's just they just throwing stuff out there just to get your vote. There ain't no free education because they've been saying about free education when Barack Obama was in office 10 or 15 years ago. They've been talking about free education, free health care, and we still haven't gotten it yet. So that's a lie. That's bull.
Everybody wants to go on and become an apprentice free.
Let me tell you about my college experience. Right?
Yep.
New York, so when you're in high school or middle school, they give you a free Metro card so you could travel, for you to be able to go to your school. And of course, they gave me free lunch. When I was in college, I had to get a job because I really needed $5 every single day to be able to go from Washington Heights. Sometimes I had to wait from 1 p.m. all the way to 9 p.m. That's my schedule to get home so I could be able to eat, because that whole time right there, I couldn't afford to go to McDonald's. I couldn't afford to go to any restaurants around Chambers Street on my break. And you had to pay for lunch, the school lunch there. So I was just starving, and I just felt so discouraged. So I just feel like that is so important, like to finance students while they're in college, because they get really discouraged. That's what people want to know. People want to know, can you provide college education, this Medicare plan, without a big chunk of taxes coming out of our check?
The way we can pay for all of this is doing practical things, like making sure that no corporation making a profit should pay less than 15% tax on their profit. None. Zero. Everybody has to pay their fair share. Thank you for your willingness to help. I promise I'll make mistakes as president, but I'll admit to the mistakes I make, and you're never going to have to wonder whether I'll keep my word.
Yeah, there you go. He's already letting you know he's going to make mistakes. He's going to make mistakes. He said, I'm ready. I'm just ready to tell you now. I'm going to tell you now. So you can never hold me accountable, because I already told you I'm going to make mistakes. So this is how he's going to get out of it. This is how he's going to get out of it. So I want people to take heed of what he's saying. Now, we're not going to have no protection under this government. Now, I know people. Now, Brother Bakari, before I go in, do you want to say anything before I go in?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, I noticed that people always want to talk about their profits and people there, like, I know people always want to quote, you know, Elijah Muhammad. People want to quote, you know, everybody got a so-called solution, so they go by who they follow. Some people follow Elijah Muhammad, so he had the best solution. Some people go Noble Ali because he had the solution. But you know who I go by? You know who my solution? Who I go to for solution? This man right here, Marcus Messiah Garvey. This is my Bible. This is my Bible. This is my Quran. Because I represent the prophet. And I think Marcus Garvey, just like Brother Bakari said, Marcus Garvey is the prophet. He's our prophet. Now, Marcus Garvey talks about, on page 52, the true solution of the Negro problem. 1922. This happened in 1922. He talks about the true solution of the Negro problem. Let me see this. Because I'm going to show you to tell you. So anybody got that book? You can read it for yourself. And people, you know, you hear all these guys say, oh, you know, we need this and we need that, blah, 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 blah. But Marcus Garvey said something that really made a lot of sense. And I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to go down. He said, do they lynch Englishmen? He said, do they lynch Englishmen, Frenchmen, Germans, or Japanese? No. Why? And why? That's what he said. And why? Why they don't lynch them? Why they don't do things to these people like they do it to us? And he says this. He said, because these people are represented by great governments. These people are represented by great governments. So in other words, let me say this. Let something happen to Donald Trump. Let something happen to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a German descent. Donald Trump is a German descent. You don't think Germans going to step in and going to be like, yo, what happened? They're going to want to know what happened. Everybody that comes in this country are represented by their mother or their country. Everybody. Let me continue. And I'm going to say this because because I gotta read this again because I want people to listen. Because everybody claim they got solutions, and all their solutions are either pipe dreams or flawed. Let me read this again. Do they lynch Englishmen, Frenchmen, Germans, or Japanese? No. And why? Because these people are represented by great governments, mighty nations, and empires, strongly organized. Yes, and ever ready to shed the last blood, to shed the last drop of blood, and spread the last penny in national treasury to protect the honor and integrity of the citizens outraged anywhere. Just think about that. Think about that. Why is it that we're not represented? Why is it that we're not represented by our people in Africa? You know why? Because number one, we so busy hating on Africa and saying we're a mixture or we're different and all this other stuff, and we need to do things by ourselves and we alone and blah blah blah. So yeah, people gonna do whatever they want to us. They could come into our neighborhoods and set up shop and feed us garbage, but you won't do it to them. You won't go into no Indian community and set up shop and feed them garbage. You won't go into the Polish community because they got a government that represent them. This United States is full of people with a melting pot. That their country represent them. Look at the Italians. Look at the Italians. Look how deep they are, and how they are backed up by the Italian government. Let something happen to all the Italians over here. Let it if there was a lynching over Italians. You don't think the government's gonna step in and say, yo, what you doing to my people? But we don't want to go to Africa because we hate Africa, right? And I wish to God, I wish Malcolm X would have just left this country and went over there and took the positions over there, took the positions over there in Africa, because there was African leaders was offering that brother some great powerful positions, and I wish he would have took it, rebuilt himself, and then come back and say, now we have a country to represent y'all. So if anything would have happened to you, anything that we need, we will supply it. We got your back. We got your back. Let me continue. He said, yes, and ever ready to shed the last blood, the last drop of blood, and spread the last penny in the national treasury to protect and honor and integrity of the citizens outraged anywhere. He also said, until the Negro reaches this point of national independence, all he does as a race will count the North, because the prejudice that would stand out against him, even with his ballot in his hand, with the industrial progress to show, will be such an overwhelming nature as to perpetrate mob violence and mob rule, from which he will suffer and which he will not be able to stop with his industrial wealth and with his ballot. Think about that. Just think about that. So it doesn't matter if you got money. It doesn't matter if you vote. You know, I've heard black folks say, oh, well, we need to control the state. And I know y'all probably heard that. We need to control the state. Okay, we know about what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. There was a militia. They had a militia too. But they were by themselves. Black folks were by themselves. We didn't have reinforcements. We didn't have somebody we could call on and say, yo, we need a backup. We need this and this and this. So when you say you want to control a state or a town, remember, it's us, just like Brother Bakari said, it's us against the world. You talk about the white man, but what about the red man? He wants a piece of that ass too. What about the yellow man? He wants a piece of your ass too. It's us against the world. So yeah, you might win the battle. You might win the first wave of the battle, but you ain't gonna win the war. Didn't people learn? Didn't you know about the history, what happened in ancient Egypt? How you had the Greeks invade, and then after the Greeks, you had another wave of the Romans, and then you have the Arabs. You have you have all these waves of the enemy coming in, invading Africa. So we need a backing. We're not protected. So yes, they're not going to give us reparations. Why not? Because we don't have nobody. We don't have nobody to represent us. Nobody don't want to represent us because we're not trying to get represented. We're not trying to go out there and go to our motherland and say, hey, go to our mother and say and reconnect to our mother. We're not trying to do that. You want to go to somebody who don't give a damn about you, and then you want to know why you don't have nothing, why you're not being protected. So this is the reason why they could come into our neighborhoods and do whatever they want to us. So you could scream, you could yell, you could cry, it won't do nothing. It won't do nothing. We don't have a great government that people that look like us and represent us to come down and say, no, you're going to fix this problem. Because a lot of the times, a lot of white folks and a lot of these people have interests in these African countries. So only thing the black man can say over there, you better fix this problem or we're going to cut you off. You ain't getting nothing. I don't care how much money you spend or whatever. We are taking our shit and you ain't giving nothing. Your diamonds and your gold that you invest in, we taking it. It's on our property and we taking it. You got a problem, we can go to war, whatever you want, how you want to do it. But you're not going to mistreat our people. Let me continue. And Brother Bakari, sometimes I gotta repeat certain things so our people can really understand where I'm coming from. So what is your thought so far? What I said so far? You want to address anything?
We don't have any. We never had a country. We never had a country to look out for us. And I don't think it's just because we hated Africa so much. It was because they were colonized, and our people over here was colonized. Shit, we had an opportunity to go back. The people over here in charge, who folks looked up to, the black people. Shit, Frederick Douglass said, white people civilized us. Why would we want to go back to Africa?
Mm-hmm.
So, the people that we prop up and make heroes are part of the reason that a lot of people think, sometimes, some of the reasons people think what they think, but it's also because, what people see on TV. Look what they show on TV all the time about Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they deal with us, ask them, when you get to know something real good, ask them what they see on TV about us. We just rob and steal. See, we know who created the problem. So we have to be the solution. We can't constantly say they're going to fix it, lean into them.
Right.
And lean into other people. Because it's like, yeah, the militia with, let's say, NFAC right now, it need to be bigger. More people need to be motivated. After NFAC marched in Louisville, it was like between 10 and 15,000 armed black marched in the UK, saying NFAC UK. But we need more people that's willing to fight. Either because we have a lot of people, their goal is to be comfortable. Its goal is to be comfortable under white people's control.
Right.
So once we get to the point where we understand that we ain't gonna be comfortable under their control, we're not supposed to be comfortable. They're not supposed to. They're not supposed to keep you comfortable. They did what they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to make a better way for you. Then we'll realize we have to stop being dependent. But right now they have forced us to be dependent. And we have accepted the fact that we have to depend on them. And a lot of us think they are our protection. I hear Mike.
Right. You're right. I think the best solution is to reconnect with our people over in Africa. We need some real reinforcements. We need a backup. We don't have that. And we can make alliances with our own people where we can get connected to a government. We can say, look, we need somebody going to represent us. We need a country where we're going to represent us. So when we call on you or you call on us, we can help each other out. Whatever we got, we got you. And yes, some of these countries all have been colonized. But we can hopefully we can work together where we can overthrow these colonizers over in our homeland. We got to overthrow it, and we got to take full control, or have our people take full control of the country so they can help us out. So we need reinforcements, and this is what Marcus Garvey was saying. We need somebody who's going to represent us. So if anything happens, we can have a backup system. We need a backup system because we by ourselves, and it's going to be and this race problem is not going to stop. It's not going to stop, and it now, like you said, it's become a norm. It can become a norm. We gotta sleep with one eye open now. You know what I'm saying? And that's not living. So I gotta read this again. I want to put that seed in our people's head to let people know that this is the solution that Marcus Garvey was saying. He said, until the Negro reaches this point of a national independence, all he does as a race will count of a naught, because the prejudice that will stand out against him, even with his ballot in his hand, with the industrial progress to show, will be of such an overwhelming nature as to perpetrate mob violence and mob rule, from which he will suffer, and which he will not be able to stop with his industrial wealth and with his ballot. So yeah, we can be. Yeah, you look at what happened to Bill Cosby. Look at what these people who so-called had money. Look what they're doing. Look what happened to them. We had black folks that was rich and to make money. They didn't stop mob violence. They didn't stop the racism. But if we had somebody that back us up and from our country, then they would think twice of messing with us. Let me continue. You may argue that he can use the industrial wealth and his ballot to force government to recognize him. So, people were talking about, oh, we need to vote, and we vote, and all this other stuff, and yada, yada, yada. So we want to be recognized. We want to be accepted. We blah, 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 blah. No, it's not going to work. It hasn't worked. Let me read this again. You may argue that he can use his industrial wealth and his ballot to force the government to recognize him. But he must understand that the government is the people. Right? That's what he said. That the majority of the people dictate the policies of the governments. So if the people say we don't want you to have reparations, they're not going to give it to you. And people think that you belong in prison, that's what they're going to do, the majority. And this is what you see now. This is what black people are experiencing now. And if the majority are against the measure and thing or a race, then the government is important to protect that measure, thing, or race. If the Negro were to, this is very important. I want people to listen to what Marcus Garvey was saying. If the Negro were to live in this Western hemisphere for another 500 years, he would still be outnumbered. Brother Bakar, you said this. It's us against the world. In the United States, what is the percentage against our percentages in the rest of the races?
We 13% of the population, I think.
And if you include whites, yellow, red, brown, they're all our enemy. What is the percentage of that? Just give me a look, any number, any estimate.
87.
Thank you. So we outnumbered. We outnumbered. Now I'm almost through. Let me read it because I gotta still this in our people's head. Listen to Marcus Garvey, the prophet. If the Negro were to live in the Western Hemisphere for another 500 years, he would still be outnumbered by other races. By other races who are prejudiced against him. Didn't I say that, Brother Bakari? He cannot resort to the government for protection. Let me say this again. He cannot resort to the government for protection, for the government will be in the hands of the majority of the people who are prejudiced against him. Now, how the hell anybody gonna say they want to control the state when the majority of people who's against the black man, black woman, and child think they're gonna get independence and justice and all the other equality, whatever black people are looking for? How the hell are you gonna get that when you outnumbered? You're a damn fool.
Oh yeah, the number is not that big in Mississippi though. Mississippi have a high percentage of black people. You're not outnumbered that much though.
But I'm talking about global. I'm talking about as throughout the country. When I'm not talking about just Mississippi, I'm talking about, as talking about the races, all the races put together against our people is not enough.
Yeah, most of the black people, the black people majority of black people down south. Yeah.
But I'm talking about as far as, brother, I'm talking about as far as infiltration. Look, let me say this. You want to control the state? Go ahead. I'm just
No, I understand what you're saying is all of them. And see, and this is the thing, because we don't see it, right? All of them ain't gonna fight, but all of them just gonna put money in the ones' hands that gonna fight and make sure they're armed enough. Because everybody want to control us. Because everybody, why would they want to help us when they can come to your neighborhood and can control you in your neighborhood? You understand what I'm saying? No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing. I was just saying if you wanted to have any hope would be here. You know what I'm saying? In the South. That would be the only where you might have a hope. But I understand exactly what you're saying. But I know we outnumbered, but shit. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Right. I agree. I agree. But we can't make that same mistake what happened to Tulsa, Oklahoma. We cannot make that same mistake. That's right. What I'm trying to. What I'm saying, Brother Bakari, we need protection in this country. That's the point I'm trying to make. So it doesn't matter you control the state, but when you got outside forces that wants to come in, and I'm talking about people from outside of Mississippi that want to come in and destroy the stuff that black people have worked so hard for, just like they did Tulsa, Oklahoma, because it can happen again. And then it's like, okay, but then you're going to have another wave and all these waves. And then after a while, the state going to be broken after a while. Yeah, you might win the battle, but you're not going to win the war. So what do? You need reinforcements. You need somebody from a greater country, from your people, so you could call on and say, look, we need more ammo. We need this. We need that. When let me say this. When the English came over to this country, they had the Great Britain and all that. They had backing. So when they need more ammo or whatever to wipe out the Native Indians or whatever they have to do, they only have to do is send a message over there and say, look, we need this. We need more soldiers. They did that in South Africa. When they came over there, they brought more ships to really try to get control of that country. So that's what I'm saying. And we have to really prepare ourselves when it comes down to this. Excuse me. What I'm saying is that we need a powerful backing, so when people would think twice not to mess with us. Controlling the state or is not enough. It's not enough.
But no black country got a military.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We need to really we have a lot to work to do. That's what I'm saying. When people start banging on Africa, our own people say, I don't want to go to Africa. How are you making a difference? When these people got the resources. That's their land. They can if they really want to take that shit back, they can easily. And we need to get enough balls to say, look, you need to cut so we can work together on this, so we can build, so we can have build enough. We can have a serious army. So when if I ask for real, we need more people, and there's casualties, I could be like, yo, we need more people to come and protect us. So that person say, yo, I'm gonna send 100 more thousand people to come over here and to where you at. So make sure you okay. Every race does it. Every race does it.
Yeah, and you know, most places have nuclear warheads. That's why they don't mess. Why do you think the United States could blow North Korea off the map? They could do what they want to do. But North Korea got a nuclear warhead. So as long as I got a nuclear warhead, I ain't worried about y'all messing with me. It's like we don't have, not only do we don't have a nuclear warhead, black people we haven't decided that we're going to fight together. Here nor there. Here nor there. We'd rather, it's easier to fight each other than it is to fight them. I believe that's what black people think.
Peace, brother Forecast. But you're right. But you're right. And this is what I'm saying, Brother Bakari. You're on point on a lot of stuff, and I agree with you. This is where we have to, you know, as long as we put this in place, this is our time to really unite with our people. Especially, and we need to unite with our people as much as it can. So when it comes down to reinforcement, we can call on our people. So we need more troops. We need more backing. We need fearless people. The black man and black woman. That's what I'm saying. We need fearless people. It can't be just black folks here in this country. We should be able to call on any black people all over the world and say, yo, we need help. Yo, I got you. That's what I'm saying. So let me finish this real quick. And I'm gonna say this because I gotta keep repeating this because I'm just trying to put my seed into people's heads. Yes, Brother Forecast. He said facts. Until we have an army or a nation backing us up, nobody will respect it. Thank you. This is what Marcus Garvey was saying. He had the solution. And I'm going to listen to the prophet. I'm going to listen to somebody who's been here way before me. That's just me.
But the sad thing is, bro, we still going through the same shit 100 years later. Think about that, bro. The same shit 100 years later.
You're right.
We have people going the exact same stuff. We don't have no nation. We don't have nothing to back us up. We don't do this. We don't do it. Think about it. The exact same stuff 100 years later. It's as if the whole world used their brain and we don't. And I'm just being honest. The whole world, every race, ethnic group of people has moved forward, has progressed. And we have stayed stagnant. And we look at success as people you can see on TV playing basketball, see people you can see in movies, and people you can see rapping. We don't. We in the same. And then we have problems with people that want to build a militia and try to get more people to come out so we can at least have some type of, at least we'll have some.
No.
I'm saying, but I'm just talking about how people down in that, but we're in the same position.
Right.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. Right. How we in the same spot with no nation, no nothing 100 years later.
Right. You're right. And that's what I want to do, because I know you and I, we talk to our people from the motherland. We have a lot of people that we know from the motherland that we try to network and build, and hopefully we can talk to the government and we could try to, make some deals and say, look, we got to ask out. We got to, because like I said, I love my people so much, and to the point that I know that, like you said, we all we got. You got my back, I got your back. That's how it should be. And if we don't look at our people as family, then it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And yes, you got some fearless brothers or whatever, and over in the motherland too, that's willing to throw down, and is willing to fight with us. So I want to get in touch with those people. And like I said, you and I, we talk to our brothers and sisters in the motherland all the time. So we're building that bridge. Yeah, it's going to take some time to really get through some heads, but the solution was always there. And they old saying, if you want to keep something from the Negro, put it in a book. Do most of our people read? A lot of the times our people read a lot of these fictional or drama books. They don't read books like this. Not all of us. So just imagine all of us had this same book. Just imagine. We all would have been on the same page. But let me finish this real quick. If the Negro, because I gotta read this. I want to put this in the seed. Mr. Marcus Garvey said, if the Negro were to live in this Western hemisphere for another 500 years, he would still be outnumbered by other races who are prejudiced against him. And as you can see, we're experiencing now. He cannot resort to the government which is the United States. He cannot resort to the government for protection, for the government will be in the hands of the majority of the people who are prejudiced against him. Hence, for the Negro is depend on for the Negro to depend on the ballot and his industrial progress alone will be hopeless, as it does not help him when he is lynched, burnt, Jim Crowed, and segregated. The future of the Negro, therefore, outside of Africa, feels ruin and disaster. I rest my mic. Brother Picard, could you elaborate? Do you want to address that?
Yeah, I agree.
Outside of Africa, it will be ruin and disaster. This is coming from Marcus Garvey.
Once you give, I'm going to be honest, I do believe Africa is our only hope. Not saying that everybody needs to go to Africa, but I honestly believe that's our only hope. If our people I'm just going to say, if some of the people with money went and really tried to connect, and some of the people with money that thought maybe similar to the way that we thought, Africa is our hope. That Africa is the world's hope. That's why everybody go to Africa and want to control it, because they have been robbing it for years and years and years, and it just keep getting. It's like natural resources is growing out of the ground. The more they dig, the more grow. That's what it seemed like. And everybody else, Africa feeds the world, and Africa is our mother. But the children of Africa don't want to have nothing to do with Africa.
Thank you. And that's the problem. And that's why we always going to lose. We were not protected. If you had all these black folks who got the Mayweathers, the LeBrons, all these people making all this money, you mean to tell me you can't control all those resources in Africa? You can't have the government behind you and say, look, we need, if there's a problem, we need some backing. Look, we got some resources. I'm good. My people are good. I'm going to make sure my people are all right. You just imagine how powerful we can be, where that if all that resources would come down and we wouldn't be suffering, we wouldn't be no ghettos and all that stuff. Everything would be black owned. You know, we can go to Africa and stay and come back and forth. And Africans can come and stay over here, and they can, you know, benefit whatever they could benefit the United States among with us. Just imagine, nobody gonna mess with us. But because you got these YouTube critics, and we know who they are, thinking, banging on Africa, and they don't want nothing to do it, we're gonna always lose. Always. We have no protection. And like you said, we're almost close to another 100 years anyway, and we're gonna be complaining about the same old song. The United States ain't gonna give us nothing. Why? Because they know we don't have no protection. We have no protection. So if I know that you're by yourself, I could do what I want with you. I could do what I want with you. Marcus Garvey already said it. So you could be rich, you might have money, and you can vote all you want, but you won't have no protection. I won't protect you. And he said the majority of the people, and we already see this, it's in your face. I played you what Joe Biden said. I played you what these people are saying, and they're not trying to protect you. There's going to be more cops killing black people. There's going to be more black on black crime, you know, good black people getting killed and all that. It's going to be more little girls and little babies getting killed by straight bullets and all that. It's going to be more of that. But because we so busy hating on each other, we don't want to work together. Look at those Moors. Look at them Negroes, those Moors. How they cursed me out because I wouldn't allow them to convert me. And they cursing me out, calling me all types of names, calling, you know, oh you bunch of bitches. Why are you cursing at me? Why are you saying these things? I thought we were supposed to build. So it's so sad. It's so sad. So when we talking about controlling the state, that's not going to be enough. That's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. I guarantee you, we're going to lose. That state is going to fall overnight. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. So we can we might have a militia, but we need more. Because just say, for example, a war breaks out, half of the militia is injured. Then what? Then what? Half of the militia is wiped out. Then what? Who are you going to call? Who are you going to call? Nobody. You can't call nobody. But if we have a backing of the motherland, we can call for more people to come down. Yo, we need more people. Or send. Oh yeah. Hey. Could you make a phone call? We need more soldiers to come and help us out. Or you know what? We need money to finance some more guns or whatever we need. Or like you said, if they cut us off, Brother Bakari, you know, we got our people could bring down food for us. But we cannot. We got to be very careful. We got to be very careful. We got to be very.
You're right. You're right. We do have to be very careful. But it's like until we get everything, what do we do? You have to start preparing now. You really have to start preparing. So what do we do? So it's like we have to be ready now. Right. We need to have. It's sad that we don't have a militia in every state. We should have people in every state ready. Every state where there's black people, we should have some people ready. You know, and that's just how I see it. It should be one in every state. But they got some states make it so hard where you can't get a gun. So it's because they don't want us to be protected. They don't ever want you to be able to protect yourself. Because if you get to where you can protect yourself, then you fool around and win a couple of battles, then people see you can win. Now the next thing you know, oh shit, we might be able to win the whole thing if we decide to come together. That ain't what they want. So we have to, you got to start, but you got to start getting ready.
You're right. But the thing is too, you got to understand too, we need to make Africa a safe haven as well. Because You know how black people back in the day, how they had to run to Canada and all these other places to get away from fighting in Vietnam, doing slavery. Black people had to go to Canada. You know, I was watching Harriet Tubman, how they had to go from Philly to Canada. We need to make Africa a safe haven. You know what I'm saying? So we can have a place to go back to. So when we say, you know what, this is too much for me, I'm going back to the motherland. I'm gonna live with my people over there. There's a lot that we can do. This is not hard. It's not hard at all. This is the reason why when I speak to my brothers and sisters, they be like, yo, if you need, come over, you want to stay, I got you, or whatever. That's a beautiful thing when you can build up families over in the motherland. Every race does it. Every race does it. And I gotta say this, and I gotta make this perfectly clear. This is America, United States is full of a melting pot. And I want to make this perfectly clear. Every race of people are backed up by a greater government. If you got somebody from Polish Americans, they're backed up by Poland. People who's German, like Donald Trump, he's German descent, he's backed up by Germany. His family come from Germany. Italian Americans, they're backed up by Italy. So if anything goes wrong, they can go back. They can get resources. They can make money. They can take it and they can sell it over here. There's so much they can do. We're the only race of people that have this anti-African, and I'm not saying all of us are like that, but you got some of them, when you talk about Africa, they don't want to be called African. And we got to stop that nonsense. And you think you're winning? You're not winning. You're not winning. Well, I'll just stay in my own little corner. I'm not going to bother nobody. You're not going to win that way. So I'm just saying that Marcus Garvey already said it, that it doesn't matter how much you vote. It doesn't matter how much money you got. That if you outside of Africa, you're going to fucking lose. That's it. That is it. Plain and simple. That's it. So controlling the state, yeah, you might control the state, but you're going to lose. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. So no, you're right, Brother Bakari. They're not going to give us anything. They made it perfectly clear. They're not going to go give us anything. Reparations, forget about. We might as well just forget about reparations. They're not going to give us that. We're not going to be protected. They're not going to sign no law. We had Barack Obama for 8 years. He protected police officers just by the power of the pen, but he didn't protect us. He didn't protect us. You know how many times Dr. King had told Lyndon B. Johnson, hey, you can protect us, but just by the power of the pen. If you don't believe me, watch the movie Selma. But they didn't want to do it.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think if they write on a piece of paper, don't do this to black people, do you think that'll work? See,
if there's consequences, yes. If they push it, I mean, when I say this, good.
But see, this is the thing. We got to understand. Those people ain't never respected nothing they put on a piece of paper. So they can write something on a piece of paper. Anything they write on a piece of paper can be erased or torn up. You don't believe me? Look at the Indians. How many times did Native Americans, how many times were they moved from reservation to reservation? Anything they write down, it's not their job to protect us. And that's the point I think that I want to make, that black people have to understand. They're not supposed to protect us. They brought you here as an enslaved people. You were never supposed to be a citizen. Really, I don't say we're citizens, I say we're legal residents. Right. We were not supposed to be here this long. We were either supposed to be killed off or go back to Africa. But we are here. And through all these years, we have to realize they have no intentions on giving us anything or protecting us. Excuse me. Or protecting us from anything. They have no intentions on that. We have to be willing to protect ourselves. Yeah, militia's small, but I rock with that small militia than other people who's waiting saying, We ain't got, what are we gonna do? That's what we're gonna do. So the small militia need to become into a big militia. There ain't no way, with everything that black people see us going through in this country, there's no reason a militia, a black militia, shouldn't have at least 2 million people. There's no reason.
Right.
We shouldn't have at least 2, with everything black people go in this country. You know what? Because when something happened to somebody, look how many black people walk around hands up, don't shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I can't breathe. Look how many people ready to march and do all that.
Right. So
I'm talking about the states where you can own guns.
Right.
I understand people in states that can't own guns right now until that law change. Mm-hmm. I don't want them to get guns to go to prison because they did something illegal.
Right.
So their job have to be something else with the militia. Right. But in the states where all these black people got all these guns, why in the hell it ain't 2 million black people in a black militia that want to protect black people?
Mm-hmm. You're right.
And this is the thing, and I remember we were talking earlier, and yes, they dropped bombs on Tulsa, Oklahoma, right?
Right.
But guess what? In today's time, you can go live where you want to live, right?
Right.
So this is what I tell people, and we can go where we want to go, right? Mm-hmm. I say, let them start dropping bombs on some neighborhoods now. I said, let's go out into these rich millionaire neighborhoods and start tearing up. Let's go see if they're going to drop bombs on all them rich white folks.
Right.
See, today's a little different. Today is just a little, because when they drop them bombs, you can go to their neighborhoods. Drop your bomb. Let's take our militia. Come on, drop your bombs over here. Let's see if you're willing to kill all them too. So this is where we're going to set camp up at. We're going to leave our neighborhood now. We're going to your neighborhood. Drop bombs over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to. It's crazy. Yes, we the only people don't have a country. Mm-hmm. We are the only people that don't have a country.
Mm-hmm.
To stand up and say, you know what? If you mess with them, this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you mess with them, we're going to take your natural resources.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to kick you out of our country.
Yep. Yep.
I think that's what needs to happen.
Of course. But we have to start uniting. We have to start doing that. We have to start changing the minds of our people to let them know they don't believe what the media is feeding you. Listen to us. Listen to us. Let's work together. Whatever the media is feeding you, don't believe them. Don't believe your colonizers. Listen to us. All that's just fictional crap. That's what we need to do. We need to start changing the minds of our people from here as well as abroad. That's what we got to do. It's our responsibility. That's the only way the bridges connect. That's the only way we can be a powerful force. It's simple. It's very simple. Because we have no resources. We have nothing over here. That's why black people are going to be dependent. That's what we're going to be always going to be asking for protection and food and whatever the case is. We're going to be the beggars. We're going to be no different than a hobo. No difference. So, but because once like you said, brother, what happens if they cut everything off? Think about it. Like you said, who are we going to depend on? Because we cut everybody off from Africa because we anti-Africa. We don't want to be called Africa. And they got the food, they got the herbs, they got the spices, they got all that, they got everything that we need, they got. And all they have to do is ship it over here. Or we can go over there. But we don't want to have nothing to do with Africa. And we'd rather starve and die depending on our enemy.
Mm-hmm.
That don't make no fucking sense. That don't make no sense. You know, it's just disgusting where we have everything that we want. And all we have to do is just build bridges. That's all we have to do. Just imagine, Brother Bakar, we go over there and we meet some people, they be like, yo, my uncle, he got this, he on the oil mines, blah, blah. Yo, a word? Yo, if you need, you can always come over, we gonna treat you like fam. Just let me know. Just give me a phone call. I got you. Yep. You might not even want to come back to the States. It'll be so good over there. But people have this mindset of, oh, Africa is so poor or whatever. First of all, I'm not gonna align myself with poor people. That's number one. I'm not gonna align myself with poor people. You won't win that way. You want to align yourself with people that have. That's how you grow. That's how you grow. That's how you could do what you call a barter system. But we need people that looks like us, that's going to be for us and by us. That's what we need. And Marcus Garvey had the solution. 1922. That was the solution. This is the reason why I say you don't see people going through. Why people ain't going through what we're going through? Why? Like you said, you don't see people out there. We the only ones getting lynched. Like you said, but why our people keep saying, oh, black and brown people, they get mistreated. No, they're not. Brown people are not getting mistreated. Like Malcolm X said, how you gonna keep talking about these Puerto Ricans when the Puerto Ricans not want to get in lynched? What they consider Latino. Latino's not the one getting lynched. Because if you do something to a Puerto Rican, guess what? Puerto Rican government gonna step in. If you do something to a Dominican, they're gonna step in. They are backed up by their government. They are backed up. Every race is backed up, and they are the majority against us. We, like you said, we are 13% in this country, compared to what, to 70, 80%. It's us against them. So if the government, so they represent the United States, they don't have to do a damn thing for us. So if they say we don't want to give black people reparations, that's what the government, that they represent the government, and we're not going to get nothing. Like you said, if they said, you know what, I don't want black people to vote, the majority of people, black, white, yellow, I don't want them to vote no more. That shit stops. It stops. We are outnumbered, whether black people want to believe it or not. So controlling the state won't work, because if the yellow man wants to step in and say, we want to, I'm taking over this stuff, what you going to do? Yeah, y'all fight. And then what? Then a second wave going to come. The white man going to come in, and that's another war. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Even if you have the 13%, just say if you have all 13%, they don't. So these so-called good white people that fought for Black Lives Matter, they don't want you to have nothing. That was just a front because they hate Trump. These are Democrats. To get your mind all screwed up. They're playing technology. But once they get Trump out of it, they could go back to their, you know what? I don't want black people to have privilege like mine. I don't want their neighborhoods to be better than mine. I don't want them to have free college education. I don't want them. They be the main ones that's saying this. So we got to wake up, man. Marcus Garvey already put the solution in for us. He already put the solution on us. Let me show this again. He already put the solution on us. The true solution of the Negro problem. He already gave us a solution. So the Noble Drew Ali's and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's, their solution is flawed. The solution is flawed because they go by religion. And like I said, y'all anti-African Negroes, your solution is no good. Your solution is no good because what makes you think that I feel like fighting every day? What makes you think I want peace too? I want peace. I want to be able to walk where I want to walk, you know, and live what I want to live without nobody harassing me. I should be able to walk on whatever I want to walk without any type, as long as I'm not committing no crime, I should be able to do that. I should be able to be in my own neighborhood without being harassed. Who wants to live in that type of fear like that every fucking day, where you can't even wear a hoodie and all this other stuff, you can't put your hands in your pocket and all this other? What type of living is that? Because you living on somebody else's rule. The government do not represent us. It will never will. We do not have protection in the United States, and we never will. I want to make that perfectly clear. You do not have protection in the United States. You don't have protection. That's why. Why do you think that you might have? Why do you think? Okay. Why do you think that? Why do you think that when black people even know their rights, they still get handcuffed? And you be telling them, look, you're violating my rights. Why are you handcuffing me? What did I do? What is the charges? Why are you handcuffing me? We see that all the time. Why is it where you actually record their wrongs and they don't even get in trouble for it? Just think about that. Why you're recording them, you're doing everything the right way, and you still get locked up. They still put you under arrest. They still shoot you and say that you resist. You do everything by the book, and you still get mistreated. You think you're protected? You think you're protected? You think because you got money? You think that because you vote? You think because you know your rights, you're protected? You're not protected. Because this government is run by the majority. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you have white friends. Doesn't matter if you are into interracial relationships. It don't matter. All that don't mean nothing. All that don't mean nothing. You just married the enemy. You're just making friends with the enemy who don't want to see you come up. Yeah, they might say it, but they're not going to help you get there where they up there. They might say, yeah, I want the best for you, but they're not going to help you get there. They're not going to help you make you become great. That's facts. So I'm going to listen to Marcus Garvey. I'm going to listen to the prophet. I'm going to listen to the prophet. So let me see. I don't know if Brother Bakari is still on here. Brother Bakari, you still there? Are you still with me? I think he did say he's going to step away. Yeah, so we gotta wake up. We have no protection in the United States. It's just plain obvious. And as you can see, Joe Biden, we have been replaced. We have been placed. The Cardi B's are the new black people. People like Cardi B are the new black people. We have been replaced. This is the reason why we are the most disrespected, and we don't have protection. And they won't never give us no protection. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. So and that's all. That's the bottom line. We're going to have to wake up. We're going to have to wake up. You know. So all these people that got something to say about Africa and all this other stuff, you know, they just doing it for money. They want to do it for fame. They think they're the truth. They think they're the answer. And then, but at the same time, they're living off the hog too. They're living off the white man's hog. All of them. All of them. the Adolfs, all of them living off the white man's hog, or they are part of the system. All of them. All of them. Okay, Brother Bakari.
Yeah.
I'm about to close out. Any last words before we head out?
No, man, just thank you for inviting me, man. It was a good show. And I thank you for inviting me. It was a good show. It was an excellent topic. And don't go do no show about me because you think I disagree.
No.
And,
I won't do that. I won't do that, brother. No, but I like the thing is what I like is that I like that you show your thoughts and your opinions, and that's why I like to have. I like people have people thoughts. If I'm, you know, like I said, I agree with Marcus Garvey. I agree with the Honorable Marcus Garvey. I think because when I spoke to you on the phone about it, I was like, damn, you know, this makes a lot of sense. We have no real nobody to back us up, nobody to represent us as a nation of people.
Now watch this.
Go ahead.
His wife put that together in 1922, right? He didn't write that book. His wife put his thoughts together, right?
Right. Yes.
He was in prison. He said it before the end. 100 years. That was stuff he was already saying. 100 years.
That's 100 years. You're right.
And I'm gonna tell you another great book, man. I promise you. Read The Miseducation of the Negroes. You get
I got that. I got that. I'll show you right now. I got that.
You ready yet? You started?
Oh no! You know what? I was so into the prophecy and opinions of Marcus Garvey, I didn't get the chance to finish.
Yeah, when you get a chance, man, listen. You know, I do a lot of moving around, so I got the book, but I ain't sit down and open it. I listened to the book like 3 times. Yeah, Up From Slavery. If you can find a book, because a lot of them is on YouTube. If you don't have time to open the book and read it, a lot of them is being read on YouTube for real.
Oh, okay.
And it's this one, the black slave owners of the Carolinas. Yeah, we were under the people. If more people read that book, they would understand why we would say the mulattoes ain't black. Because if you read that book, you would see they never considered themselves black.
Right.
To show that they were closer to their white side, they would buy the darkest slaves as possible and try to treat them worse than the white people did. When the other black people was buying their families, couldn't free them, but would buy their family so they could keep their family together.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it's a great book, and you'll see the difference. And you would see the difference. That's why I like to tell people history is the greatest teacher.
Sure is.
And if you think,
and hold that thought, and I will go further than that. I think history is our salvation. But go ahead. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'll go further than that.
Because if you don't think history is important to everybody, find somebody with a felony, a violent felony, or drug, and see how hard it is to get a job. Because they're gonna look at his past.
Yep.
If you don't think history is important to everybody, go try to get a credit card and your credit score of 560. They're gonna say, "Oh, you didn't pay your bills and you was 800. How did you hear?" History is very important because history predicts the future. But while we are living, we have an opportunity to change. Every person can change, right? So once you realize when you're younger how you changed, means that once you realize the mistakes you made when you were younger, just like for the credit, right? So what you do is, okay, I'm 35, I'm finna fix my credit. I didn't know it was gonna be like, so you fix your credit, then you keep your credit good because your past has been affecting you for so long, right? But even people with those felonies, they get them an attorney and they can get it, I forget what they call, but people can't even open it anymore when they're looking at it. You pay money for that, but people can't even open it no more, right? And that's how you, a felon, in most states, they just getting in every state. In some states, felons can't vote because of your past.
That's right. That's right.
Because of your history.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use the right word because I say history is the greatest teacher. Because of your history.
That's right? So true. Yeah, that's so true. You're
history
so right about that.
History can predict the future, but we had an opportunity to change the path that we're on because we are still living. So there are some things that we can change, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Sponge. Yes, that's what I'm. So you know what I'm talking about. See, she know what I'm talking about. When felon, you can pay. So now that I have learned, you get your record, Sponge. Yeah, it's Sponge. So you can pay, so your future can be brighter.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And that's so true. And you know, and that's how when you run for government and stuff like that, and I noticed if they find something on you, you know, and a lot of people been judged by their past and stuff like that. Be like, yeah, I remember you used to do this, you used to do that, and blah blah blah. So that's why I tell people, be careful what you do. You know, when these women are going out there and acting whorish or whatever, and then all of a sudden they want to turn around and be a housewife or something, you don't want people bringing that stuff back here. Oh yeah, you slept with Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I'm just saying, that's using as an example. You know, you got to be very careful. Be very careful what you do, because that your past is going to still be tied to you. Just like you said about the felony and all that. That's why you can't get a job, because it follows you. So we got to be very careful. You're so right. But you know, you had one thing on the button, Brother Bakari, that like I said, this was written 1922. And you would think that we would learn, but I think this is the time we got to make serious changes now. We got to make serious changes now, because we can't go another 100 years still complaining about the same thing. We can't do it no more. I don't have the energy, and I'm tired of it. So I try to stay away from. That's why I say we got to stop. We got to get away from junk food. When I mean junk food, get away from the people that's putting this poison out there. Oh, why you gotta go to Africa? And blah, blah, blah. But Africa is the place to be. Like you said, everybody's benefiting except us.
Yep.
And that's the problem. And you like I said, you talk about controlling the state, but you still need a backing. United States have a backing. When they want money, what they get money from? What? London, right?
Yeah.
Trust me, United States, they got ties to other countries.
Yep. And they use their drug dealing money. Look at Miami. Or they use that mob money. Look how they built New York. You can watch these documentaries and see it. In the mid to early 80s, New York was the poorest city in the United States. Over, like, what was it, right at $30 million in debt?
Right.
Mob money, and Donald Trump rebuilt it. That's why Donald Trump can get away with the stuff he get away with. You white man, I'm telling you, some of these documentaries, man, you'll see it.
You know, I was watching. Oh, but I want to add on something. I was watching RoboCop, right? And I think it was RoboCop 2. And that's why I say, you know, people always look at movies and they will just want to look at the action part. But you have said something very interesting. Now, RoboCop was based on, you know, you see RoboCop 2. You remember RoboCop 2?
I remember the first one. I don't remember the second one. I watched it, but I just don't remember it.
RoboCop 2 was based on this jaw called, I think it called Nuke. It was this red thing, and they just put it in their neck. And I don't know if the chat remembers RoboCop 2, but they had the drug dealers met up with the people from the government, because they went to you know, Detroit was going into a crisis, a financial crisis. They were going broke, and OCP, I think OCP or whatever, the cop government, they wanted to create a martial law government. And they was sort of the people in the councilmen or whatever you want to call them, I forgot. They said no, because you'll create, you know, we don't want to make a police state for us. We want to make people where they could be free of doing, you know, where they can go anywhere without being harassed by police or whatever. So the government went and met up with the drug dealers, and they said, "Look, we'll make a deal. We can have you clean up the city, but you allow us to sell our drugs." They said this in the movie. They said, "Yo, we can make you feel like a hero. You can be the mayor," because the brother wanted to be a mayor, right? He said, "Yo, you could be the mayor that saved the city." He says this, Brother Bakari. You could be a mayor to save the city, and you'll clean up the city, but just allow us to sell our drugs. That's the deal. And they had a van, a bulletproof van full of gold and money in this van. They said, "Yo, we'll put you down for what something $1 billion or something like that." And they were just about to take the money where that OCP, they went to they said, "No, we gotta kill him because we want to control the Detroit." So you're right. That's true. I believe it. So a lot of these movies, that's why I said people beware of these movies where the government and these mobsters and drugs, they work hand in hand. They work hand in hand. So you're right about that. But when you get a chance,
and look at Detroit now.
Yeah.
Detroit was a city 80% black, still about to look at it. Look how they ran it down like that, and now they're taking it back.
You're right. If you get a chance, watch RoboCop 2, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Watch it. If you get that's one of my best 2 movies because I think it was run by the same director. RoboCop 1 and 2 was really good, but watch that. You'll see it. You see how they went, and they said, "Look, you could be the best mayor of the world. We'll give you all this money," because Detroit was going to a crisis. The police department was protesting. They would have picket signs. It was the criminals it was crazy. But they said, "Look, we'll have you clean up the city, and we'll make you we could make you you the best mayor that clean up the city. All we need you to do is let us sell our drugs, and just don't bother us." And the guy was just about to say, and he agreed to it. Bakari, the brother agreed to it. He's like, "Yeah, we down with it."
Sound like what they did to Kwame Kilpatrick, mayor of Detroit. Do you remember him?
Yeah, I remember.
Yep. Sound like what happened to him.
And that's probably what they got. When was
no? When RoboCop was way before Kwame Kilpatrick was in the 2000s.
Yeah, so they got the idea from RoboCop.
and he ended up going to jail.
Mm-hmm. See, a lot of these movies they try to either they tell a story or they got, because the movies got when these movies. That's why I tell people, don't just look for the action. Really analyze what's going on. And when you have brought that up about Donald Trump and how he worked with the mob and he cleaned up New York, that brought up RoboCop 2, where Detroit was going to a crisis, and that's where they got. Like I said, and that incident with Donald Trump, what happened first. And that's probably why RoboCop 2 got that idea from. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's real. That actually happened. That actually happened. But yeah, when you get a chance, watch RoboCop 2. It's really good, really good. But yeah. So are you done? I didn't even to cut you off, but I just wanted to.
Oh, you good? Now look, man. I thank the chat. Thank you for inviting me. So if y'all hadn't heard of me, my channel is Brother Bakari. I think everything. It was a good show. I thank you very much, my brother, for letting me come on and speak my views.
Definitely.
And we'll do this again.
Definitely. And I want to thank you, Brother Bakari, for sharing your thoughts and wisdom. And I want people to subscribe to Brother Bakari. If you haven't subscribed to this brother, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, because again, we're all about sharing knowledge, and we really are sincere of what we say. We're not one of these guys that the movie that's true. The movie would tell you the story and set you up for what's coming. You're right about that, Erica. Sister Erica has been on point. She's on point. Yes, you're right. You know, we got to watch these movies because these movies either tell a story and they let you know what's coming, or they tell you what happened in the past. That's the reason why cities have been, funded, and stuff like that. They tell you how, a lot of these movies either tell you what's coming or they tell what used to happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, Erica, you are definitely on point. So, like I said, just subscribe, share, because we are type of people, we want to really tell the truth, and open to wake up the minds. And like I said, it's all about working together and building bridges. We're not trying to tear down. And like I tell people, stay away from these channels that always just put down other black people or whatever. This is the time now that we need unity. This is 2020. We in a new millennium. We all this banging on black people. That gotta stop. That gotta stop. I don't have time to be talking about the next man. And I want to tell you this before I go. I gotta say this before I go because this was very disturbing. I think I told Brother Bakari this about Chief X. I told Chief X, and I hope he's watching. I hope Chief X is watching. I told Chief X to come on my panel because we could chop it up. I told the brother to come on my panel so we could chop it up. We could build. I even sent him the link to my channel. He sees my channel. He sees a video of Umar Johnson talking some real stuff. This Negro gonna tell me, "Oh, I see you support Umar Johnson," and I don't support Umar Johnson. I said, "Look, I don't know what you mean by supporting Umar Johnson. I don't send him money, but I'm not gonna ignore the things that he said. It's on point. There's some things I agree with Umar Johnson. There's some things I don't agree with. And I told Chief X, there's some things I agree with you, and there's some things I don't agree with you. But you can't tell me who I can't fuck with and I cannot fuck with. Who the hell are you?" So Chief X said, "Well, he's taking money from the people, da 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 da." And I said to myself, "Well, didn't Chief X did a similar move? How he taking money from the people and didn't fulfill his promise or fulfill that's right. Chief X is ADOS. Chief X is ADOS. But let me say this though, KW Dawn 7. Let me say this. I had bought some herbal pills from Chief X. I called him on the phone. This was happening in 2014. He wants to talk about some bullshit, talking about how Umar Johnson's taking money from the people, blah, 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 blah. But I ordered from PayPal. I called them up. I said, "Look, it was this pill called Moringa that he still sells, by the way. And there's other Moringa called Roots. And I ordered on paper. I spoke to him on the phone. I said, "Look, this is what I want." He wrote down the order, whatever. Did you know I had waited almost damn near 2 months for my shit? Then he comes up with a video that he's in Mexico. He said, "Oh, well, somebody had came to my room and took all my supplies." He said he had full of his supplies. Did you know people was waiting almost damn near 4 or 5 months for him to send the orders out? I had to call him and say, "Look, where I'm going to get my stuff? I'm not going to be waiting no 2 or 3 months for my shit. That's not happening. Either that or you're going to get my money right there ASAP." Now, I didn't say that part, but I was saying if I don't get my money, I'm going to end up having to have some words with this dude. So I called him. I said, "Yo, when I'm going to get my stuff? It's been blah, blah, blah." "Oh, yeah, I had some difficulties, but I'll send it out right away." So by the time I got it, I showed the people there, I got my stuff, blah, blah, blah. I had people inbox me telling me that they still haven't got their stuff. They have waited months. Months. They had waited months. Right? And, you know, I told Chief X, I called him up. I said, Chief X, you know, I got this stuff or whatever. Thank you, blah, 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 blah. You know, I thanked him or whatever. And he said, yeah, you know, people had complained and said they've been waiting months and they never got it. Majority of people wanted their money back. Now I got to give their money back, blah, blah, blah. I said, you know what I told Chief X? I said, let me tell you something. What you're doing is bad business. That's bad business. And you're going to get, and what you did, yes, you're going to lose the trust of your people. You're going to lose the trust of your people. And guess what? I stopped buying from them. Once people have ordered something, you're supposed to send that out in a reasonable time. You take down the orders within that week and say, by next week, I'm gonna start sending the product out. I'm gonna start sending the people ordered out. That's how you do. Yes, that's true. But I don't buy from him no more. I go to the Africans. There's an African market that I buy my stuff now. Yeah, it's really good. Really good. Help you clean the blood, clean your system out. I bought this thing called Detox. And I showed that on my other live, my past live about that. I don't buy from Chief X no more. But then he wants to talk about Umar Johnson and his wrongdoing. And I said, people need to start looking at themselves. People have to start really looking at themselves. You want to start talking about the next man, but you did the same damn thing, Chief X. And that's why you lost the customer. That's why you lost the customer. So I'd rather for him, he needs to be quiet on that. You don't like Umar Johnson? That's on you. But don't tell me who I need. Don't tell me who, don't dictate to me who I should follow and support. You don't make those fucking rules, dude. I asked you to come on my show as a brother, as a Pan-African brother. I showed you to come on my show. Because I do fuck with you. But I don't fuck with you like that as far as supporting you, because what you did was bad business. Should I be waiting months for some little bullshit, some herbal pills that I can get around the fucking corner? So I left him alone. I left him alone. I just left him alone. So that's what I'm saying. We got to stop listening to these people that supposed to be all conscious and all pro-black, but at the same time, they hustling the people. They lying to the people. They claim they're the truth, but they're contradictory. And when you start looking at their past, they're just as fucked up. So I don't fuck with these guys no more. And I left them alone on that. I said, you know what? You do you. You do you. So I want to say thanks for joining to the chat. It's been a great show. And again, just let the people know we have no protection unless we come together and reconnect to our mothers, just like every other race or group are connected to their motherland. We need to connect to ours. So if anything happens, we can have a place to go to as far as some refuge. That's all I'm saying. But right now, as you can see with Joe Biden, which I proved, we have no protection in this country. And we're going to be singing the same damn song for another 100 years if we don't have our shit together. Because it all comes down on us at the end of the day. They're doing, the majority of people that don't look like us, they're doing what they're supposed to do. This is a race. This is a race. And these whites and yellow and red folks, brown folks, they supporting each other. They have no problem going to China and all this other stuff. They have no problem. But we need to get our shit together if we want to do better. That's the way I see it. So thanks to the chat, and thanks to Brother Bakar for joining me. And And I definitely will see y'all again. Peace and one love.